You can shock me, kill me, and destroy every single one of my Nuzlocks all you want. I'm always coming back for you. Don't ever doubt me, bro. What is good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, just in case it wasn't completely obvious, today we're going to be talking a little bit about Pokemon Legends Arceus and all the new information that we received. Despite the title of the video, you could think of this as a breakdown, an analysis, or whatever else, but at the end of the day, much like the last video for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, at the end of the day, in reality, this is just me wanting to gush a little bit about everything that we saw in the reveals for Pokemon Legends. Cause I gotta be honest with you, Chief, they did kind of a bang up job there. A majority of us came out happier than the minority of us. But even then, there was still plenty of hate because nobody hates Pokemon more than Pokemon fans. I can never get over that fact. I digress. So, much like I said in the previous video, we're going to be getting back to our regularly scheduled breakdowns and analysis and everything like that, and especially our deep dives, because there are very specific things in each of these trailers and reveals that I really want to just dive into. Y'all already know what I'm about. I have a question for damn near everything at this point. But before those questions can be formed, we have a lot to observe here. So with that, why don't we go ahead and hop into things and just take a general look at the showcase and, why don't we have some fun with it? Let's see if I nailed anything in my predictions. I think that a good a place as any to start would probably be the graphics. Now I'll say it like this, artistically it did not really change all that much. It still looks generally the same style-wise as it did back when we first saw it in, February? However though, to me personally, that's not really that big of a problem. I really did enjoy the graphical style. I love the direction that they went with this. And honestly, if I had to choose between what we have now versus what we had in 8th gen, I would much rather be stuck with this, considering the fact that everything artistically kind of flows a lot better. Things look a lot more consistent in the art department. So go ahead on, you can fight me on it all you want, but if you're gonna sit there and argue with me that the art style now is worse than what we've had before, I'm sorry, Chief, but we're about to have a brawl on our hands because I heavily disagree. However, something that definitely did improve over time was absolutely the frame rate. I don't know if y'all remember, but one of our biggest problems back when they first revealed the game to us was how bad the frame rate was. It definitely wasn't the worst frame rate issues we've ever seen in a game, however, of a modern Pokemon game, it was kind of alarming to see. Well, as far as this current trailer goes, I don't know if they kind of snuck around it or maybe they edited it or something like that, but from what we saw, I didn't really see any frame rate issues, if any at all. Through all the running around, to all the movements, to all the conversing with people, even to the battling, I did not see one vicious frame drop. And I'm very pleased with that. Y'all are doing a bang up job making that polish, okay? Keep that up. I feel really bad that I was expecting frame rate drops at all, but y'all exceeded my expectations. None. Which is great. That is awesome. Keep that up, guys. I can't wait to see this game in January. Now, one gripe I definitely did have is still the fact that there is an absolutely absurd amount of empty space sometimes. Now again, up close, we're probably not going to think about it too much because we're going to be on the ground looking for Pokemon, we're not really going to think that much into it. However, they did reveal a flying segment, and when you're above everything like that, you're eventually going to have to land, and you're going to see so much empty space and a lot of awkwardly placed trees and things like that. Maybe they made it look weird in the trailer, but just saying, if it looks like that in the game, oh boy. Now again, this is not a situation where this is a deal breaker for me or anything like that. I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've ever seen. However, it can be a tad awkward to look at, but maybe I'm just saying that and judging it because it's in the trailer. Maybe when I'm playing it for myself, I'll come to understand why it's like that, or maybe it'll be even more filled out by the time we actually get it in January. Remember, we are still a couple of months away. They have plenty of time to do some touch-ups. Whatever the case may be with its current looks, regardless, I can't wait to get my hands on that sucker and see what it looks like on my big screen. So why don't we go ahead and move on here. Now this next little section here is going to be kind of weird because I organized it awkward. I set up this section to talk about characters and Pokemon that were introduced. I don't really feel like there's much need to explain that. I feel like it kind of explains itself. So why don't we just go ahead and start talking about it? Now, the first thing I need to point out before we get to anything is that I was on the nose with this frickin' prediction. Now, if anybody saw my predictions video right before the presentation, you would know that I mentioned that we were going to meet one of Cyrus's ancestors, and I specifically wanted to see a grandmother-like figure. I know for a damn fact that everybody thought the exact same thing when they saw Silene. What the hell happened to her eyebrows? Sorry about that, but we all knew for a fact the moment that we saw her, we recognized her as somebody of Cyrus's lineage. We didn't know exactly how far back we are, but far enough back for Sinnoh region not to even be the Sinnoh region anymore. So we know they're related, we just don't know how far apart. But either way, grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-great-grandmother, great-great-great-great-great-grandma. I was on the nose when I said that we would be meeting her, and dag nabbit, I was on it, baby. I was on it. Anyhow, she does look like a very interesting character, and I'm really looking forward to interacting with her and seeing what she's like. We don't really know much about her other than the fact that she's a part of the Survey Corps, and that fooled the hell out of me with that resting face because I thought that she was head of security. With a tough family lineage like that, I really thought that she would be the one to be like, hey, what are you doing over there? You know what I mean? Like, I really did figure that she would be the top dog of security, but I'm okay with the fact that she's head of the Survey Corps. She's going to be leading us directly when it comes to us taking on missions to capture and evolve Pokemon in the Hisui region. So I have a good feeling that we'll be seeing plenty of her. Next up, we have the oh so very obvious ancestor of Professor Rowan, which is Komodo. They did explain it very well, however, even if they didn't, just one look at him and you could tell, oh yeah, he's the head honcho around here. I don't know about y'all, but one glance and I could tell that Big Dog was giving off some real primal energy. I don't know what it is about him, but yeah, he had some real alpha energy. I like that. But does anybody else find it just so interesting and crazy that both Rowan and Cyrus's ancestors were working together under the galactic name? I'm just saying, y'all, we might have some crazy, insane betrayal story going on. And I'm just gonna throw in the craziest plot twist right now. It's not even gonna be Silene that betrays everybody. It's gonna be Big Dog Komodo. Watch. The betrayal of Komodo is going to be so painful and hurtful, especially to Silene, that it's going to go down in family history, and Cyrus is just going to he's going to have the wrong idea. And that's what's going to shape his ideals and things like that. Watch this. Watch this. Jokes aside, I'm not entirely sure if we're actually going to have anything like that. They may not betray each other at all, but it is going to be very interesting to see how our relationship develops with each of them. It's gonna be something, and I'm really looking forward to it. Speaking of the galactic name, it's just very strange in general that they're all working under the quote-unquote galactic name. They're not exactly Team Galactic, but it's a very similar symbol, and it's a very similar situation with the name. Long story short, Team Galactic used to be the good guys, and of all the craziest things, you used to work for them directly, or at least the ancestors of the trainers did. So, what's gonna come of this? I don't know, but it's gonna make for a nice touch of lore to the story here. I'm really looking forward to that. Also, speaking of very interesting things that people were completely correct about, everybody was right that we were gonna get new Pokemon forms. They did think we were gonna get Sinnohian forms, but Hisuian is close enough, I think. I feel like that counts. I am really hoping that they didn't showcase every single one of the Hisuian forms already because I want to see the other Pokemon that got Hisuian forms. We haven't seen the evolution of Growlithe yet, which I'm very grateful about. I want that to be a surprise. However, I'm grateful for Growlithe because it looks so damn cute. I'm also grateful for Braviary, who looks crazy clean, and even Basculegion. I would never touch Basculin in any other circumstance, but now it's about that time. And speaking of Basculegion, did y'all catch that Pokédex entry that they said for it? That was the most casual way to say something so incredibly dark that I have ever heard. And I live for that. They truly said, y'all want some lore? We're gonna give you some lore. This Pokemon was born from other dead Pokemon of its species. How you like that? And we said, yes, thank you, feed us more. It's stuff like that that really leads me to believe that Pokemon Legends Arceus is really just gonna be story and lore filled, and that is a very beautiful thing. What can I say? I'm a story heavy guy, I'm a lore heavy guy. That's the kind of thing that I live for, which is why this game is it's about to be so damn scrumptious. We're gonna be eating up that story like nobody's business. And I truly am just living to see the day. But I think we've talked more than enough about that. Why don't we start moving into the final segment, which is just talking about all of the gameplay situations that they showed us. For starters, let's take a look at that Pokemon catching mechanic. The closest that we've probably ever come to being able to catch Pokemon like that is either in fan games or maybe Pokemon Go or Let's Go. The power and ability to just sneak up on a Pokemon, throw a Pokeball, and have it work makes me feel like I'm in the damn anime almost. That is what a Pokemon game is supposed to feel like, and that looks like it's done right. This feels a lot more realistic. There shouldn't have to be a time where you always have to participate in a Pokemon battle to catch a Pokemon. I know that's how it's been, and I know that's just a general idea, and it's not bad, it's totally fine. However, this makes things feel so much more lively. It makes the Pokemon feel a lot more realistic. Some of them might just run away. Some of them may break out of the Pokeball, completely run away. Maybe they come out of the Pokeball and they attack you. That is what a real Pokemon is supposed to feel like. It makes them feel so much more genuine. So having this mechanic makes the game so much more beautiful. It's such a small touch, but such a big touch in a way that some people from the outside simply just won't understand. And I'm telling y'all for a fact right now that this is most likely going to be the most addicted we've ever been to catching Pokemon, except for Pokemon Go, because that's its own weird little exception. But next generation, if we don't have it like that, I promise you we're all gonna be upset, man. This is about to spoil the hell out of us. Just saying, I love that they did it this way. That is awesome. The next thing that we absolutely need to start talking about right now is the battling mechanic. Now, for those of you that have been following for a minute, you probably saw just a couple of weeks back that I actually made an entire video on the topic talking about how I fully expected active time battles to come to this game, since I felt that that would add a much more realistic touch to the Pokemon. However, they decided to step on my foot, lock me in, and hit me with the fastest, hardest left jab of all time, because they hit us with something entirely different than what I was thinking. Now, it is still turn-based, do not get that twisted. However, the turns that you take are completely different. Now, maybe a couple of you guys are fans of the Shin Megami Tensei series. Maybe you guys know that, maybe you don't. However, it follows something like that. You can literally see in the top right corner which Pokemon is going to be making their move next. And as the narrator of the presents told us, whoever goes next is completely dependent on the speed stat of the Pokemon. However, that's not even the end of things. To add on another layer, they added a little transformation attack situation where you could change between styles. From what it looks like, as long as it's your turn to attack, you can change between these two styles anytime. Now, to get more specific, the two styles that you have access to are the strong style and the agile style. Obviously, both of these options are very self-explanatory. You would pick strong style if you want to hit really, really hard, but you might go later, or you could switch to agile style, where you sacrifice your power for a little bit more speed. That opens up a lot of strategy options, actually. I imagine that I'll be using agile style when I want to use multiple buffs at once, and then switch over to aggro style, or strong style rather, when I want to lay in a hefty left hook, you feel me? But then again, who knows, they may introduce a situation where even if you use agile style, you won't be sacrificing all that much power on a specific move, depending on the Pokemon. I really couldn't tell you, but I'm looking forward to learning how to abuse that, because that's going to be so much fun. So at the end of the day, even though it's not active time battle, it is a very welcome change that we absolutely needed for this game. It's something fresh, and it's something that a lot of us are going to still have to learn to get used to, especially if you have never played the Shin Megami Tensei series or anything that has that style of turn-based battles. Obviously, it's nothing complex, but it will feel very different. I'm gonna tell it to you like that. The next thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that they casually briefly brought up the fact that we have a crafting mechanic. Thank the stars. I did predict this a while back, but I wasn't really sure if they would actually go about something like that. But I am very, very happy that they introduced the mechanic, because otherwise I probably would have been beside myself. What kind of open world game doesn't have a solid crafting mechanic? That just would not make any sense to me. Now, they didn't show us a lot of what you could craft, but we do know for a fact that we can craft Pokeballs. So on that note, that means that we're going to be doing a lot of collecting. And collecting means that there's going to be some really secret, harder to get items that are going to really build up to some really awesome items. Watch this, we'll probably have to build our own Master Ball. Watch. Actually, I take that back, I don't really think so. However, we can build regular Pokeballs, which means that there is no reason as to why you should not always be stacked up on Pokeballs. If you run out into the wild and you find some Pokemon that you really want to catch and you don't have any Pokeballs, that is completely on you. You should never be low on Pokeballs now. But whatever the case may be, I'm excited to see what this ends up applying to, whether it be clothing, other newer styles of Pokeballs, maybe healing items, or different other tools for you to use in the overworld. Who knows? I'm excited to find out, because I'm going to be using that mechanic way too much. I'm sure all of us will. Next is the fact that they actually added small little side quests. It's something so minor, but so beautiful. I promise you that 90% of these quests are just going to be catch this Pokemon or evolve this Pokemon. But hey, it gives me incentive to do both of those things. I would completely ignore otherwise. Now that they have a Wurmple quest available, guess what, sucker? I'm going out there to catch me a Wurmple, and I'm gonna evolve it too. I may not use it, but I'm gonna evolve it, because now there's actually a good chance that I might get something out of it. Overall, I'm just really excited to see something that we can focus on other than the main basic quests. Moving on here, I wanted to talk about the riding Pokemon mechanic. Mwah! This is something that we've been wanting for so long, dude. Since it is very Breath of the Wild-esque, I kind of figured that we would get something like this anyway, but it is nice to finally see in action. Being able to ride on that evolved Stantler or whatever throughout the regular field that we can traverse, being able to fly above on that Braviary, and being able to traverse water really fast on Basculegion. Godlike, all of it, perfect. We are going to have a faster method of travel, and that's all we're going to be doing. I don't even know if fast travel is going to be a thing like that in this game, but even if it's not, I don't think too many of us will have too much of a problem. Unless the map is actually that freaking huge, in which case, never mind, we will definitely have a problem. Just saying, as much as I love traversing an open world and exploring and running around on my own 2 feet, it would get kinda slow if it was just like that the entire time. Also, that was a very clever way to introduce all the new region variants. Love that. One thing though, I am just really hoping that these traversal mechanics apply to other Pokemon as well. What if I don't want that new Stantler on my team? What if I don't want the new Braviary on my team? Or maybe you don't even have to have those Pokemon on your team. Maybe that's just a mechanic that applies to them. But I would love it if we could just do that with other Pokemon as well. Staraptor is a big part of this region, okay? Luxray is a big part of this region. It makes sense to have other Pokemon that are able to do these things, because why wouldn't other Pokemon be capable of these things like swimming? We literally run into a big ass Gyarados that we have to fight. Can I ride the Gyarados if I want Gyarados on my team? Is that alright with you? But whatever the case, the mechanic in general is just nice to have, and we'll figure out more about it as we go along. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is just simply the fact that I am so excited to just, as a trainer, be able to get rocked by wild Pokemon. Now, obviously, every single one of us knew that this was going to be a mechanic because they introduced the dodge roll mechanic. You would not need a dodge roll mechanic unless you were getting out of the way of something. It would also be way too loud of an action to use on just being able to capture Pokemon. That wouldn't make any sense. So, even though we did see this coming, it is really nice to finally see it in action. Dodging Ursaring, dodging that vicious Luxray. Oh my god, I can't wait. Like I said, it's stuff like this that makes the Pokemon in the game feel that much more alive to us. Them being an actual threat and an actual danger makes me want to get out of the way of their attacks, but also go after them even more so that I can add them to my team. I want that kind of power in the PC, or on the team. I don't really know if PCs are a thing in the Hisui region yet, but whatever the case may be, I want to have that. But I have to go out of my way and risk my life for it first, so I'm with it. Also not sure how this is going to translate in the Nuzlocke because I feel like you could cheat, take your Pokemon away, and just start running and maybe die from an attack or something, but I don't know. I guess we'll make up the rules as we go or something. I don't know. We'll see how that one plays out. Now, the last big thing that I wanted to mention was just the big red-eyed Pokemon that are going to be going out of their way to murder us in the overworld, and how exciting that is. Obviously, there's some big lore story reason as to why these Pokemon are attacking us like this and why they're agitated like they are. Most likely something to do with Arceus, considering it's the god of Pokemon, but we don't know what that is yet. They really didn't let us in on what was happening with that. However, I'm really excited. This is another one of those things that kind of got answered from me because I did request that we had some kind of dangerous Pokemon that would attack us in the overworld at night, especially if we were under-leveled and we couldn't get anywhere near it, you know? It would just showcase exactly how dangerous these Pokemon are and that we as trainers need to get stronger so that we could take those Pokemon on. And I feel like this is that perfect scenario, in which case it works. Again, I don't know what the limit is on catching Pokemon that are above your level. I'm sure that there is going to be some kind of level cap that you have to raise as you progress through the story, but I'm really looking forward to figuring out what that is because I want to catch that God Luxray as soon as possible. I'm not trying to waste any more time, B. Just saying, whatever the story is leading into that, I am super dummy excited for, and I can't wait to see how that plays out, and I can't wait to dodge and weave every single one of those Ursaring hugs. You feel me, bruh? You can't touch me, son. You can't touch me. Get up out of here, bruh. I can't wait. I can't wait. So with that, that pretty much concludes my little gushing or analysis or breakdown or whatever you want to call this of the initial Pokemon Legends reveal from the Pokemon Presents a couple days back. There's a lot to take in here, and even though we were easily able to predict a majority of what was going to be happening in this game just based on the basis of what they showed us back in February, it's just really nice to see it all in action and how exactly they're going about it. It looks to me like it's turning out to be a really good game, and honestly, I can't wait for January. That 2-month gap is absolutely going to be vicious. However, thank God it's only 2 months. So that just about wraps it up for all of my thoughts and everything on the presentation. I have another video thought out, ready to go for this one, so we're going to be tackling that really soon. But for the time being, I'm going to pass the mic to you guys, and I want to hear everything that you guys have to think about the game so far. Do you think that it looks ugly? Do you think the mechanics are really stupid? Do you think that they're not going to work? Do you think that they faked fixing the frame rate? Or do you think that this game looks beautiful? Do you think that it's going to hold up well and that you're going to be playing it for ages to come? I want to hear everything that you guys have to say in the comment section below, because you already know that I'm down there with you at all times. Always. I want to converse with y'all about it because I'm hella excited, so I know for a fact you guys are too. But I'm gonna just hand the mic to you, and I'm gonna leave it at that because it does appear to be skedaddle the clock. So I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor, dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm outro. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.